Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Richard Kelly. I am with the Inspire Committee of Forge, the volunteer committee, and we are a local organization here in Topeka helping young professionals get involved and network with area communities and area events. We're here today for our Forge Cares series. It's a local series that we do where we are getting involved with community organizations and learning more about them so that Forge members can give back and contribute to them. And we can also learn more about impactful organizations here in the Topeka community. Today, I have with me Judette Padilla. She is with the Villages here in Topeka and is the executive director. They're a local organization here, and we're excited to learn more about the Villages and a little bit about Judette and what she does and gets involved with them. Thank you first for joining us today, Judette.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. To kind of start us off with, the Villages are a local organization here in Topeka, but I'll let you tell us a little bit more about what they do and a little bit of a history on how they've come to be here in Topeka.
Okay. The villages have been around since 1969 and was created by Dr. Carl Miniger. And he believed at the time that there needed to be homes built for kids, for children in need of care, for abuse, neglect, runaways, that needed to have a safe place to stay and be raised in a home-like setting. So over the last 50 years, the population of the villages has changed quite a bit. We started off with children in need of care, then we moved into some independent living services, and then we moved to juvenile offenders in 1997, where we did juvenile offenders that were in the custody of the Juvenile Justice Authority until 2012. No, 2016, excuse me. And then after that, we then moved into what we currently are doing. And so the Villages currently has 7 homes, 5 in Topeka, 2 in Lawrence. And the 5 homes in Topeka are dedicated to a federal program for unaccompanied children. Those are children that come from the border, and it is our responsibility to get them to their sponsor and vet the sponsors to make sure that we are making a safe release to them. The other 2 homes in Lawrence are dedicated to Kansas children that are in the state of custody for the state of Kansas that are children in need of care. And our goal for them is to keep them as long-term to get them reintegrated or whatever their case plan may be.
Fantastic, fantastic. It's obviously a organization that's much needed here in the Topeka area and a much needed across the United States. How long have you been involved with the Villages and what role do you play with them?
I am currently the executive director. I've been with the Villages since 2012, where I'm a native Topekan, so I've known about the Villages all my life. So I've always been aware that they were here. My previous job in Topeka was working with juvenile intake as their director, and so I was very aware and had worked with our previous executive director, Sylvia Crawford, and the house parents that worked here with kids that had previously lived here. So I've always been aware of them. In 2012, Sylvia recruited me to become a house manager because they were changing the model from house parents to house manager, where we would have 10 kids and staff 24/7 instead of house parents that live there. And so in 2012, I became a house manager of House 20 here in Topeka and did that for 5 years. So loved every single minute of it. The kids were fantastic.
Awesome, awesome. Now, knowing that the Villages are, like I said, here in Topeka, and many Forge members maybe have come to Topeka on business ventures or from areas outside of the local community. Are there ways or opportunities for Forge members or other young professionals or just individuals in general to in some way contribute or get involved with the Villages?
There is. We don't do a lot of volunteer work for the main purpose that volunteers are required to go through through the same amount of training that a full-time employee is required to do. So it's something like 54 hours.
Wow.
And people don't want to do that to just volunteer. So we do take donations. We have, for our unaccompanied children's program, we actually have an education component where the kids are in a learning classroom all day long for 7 hours. Unfortunately, at this point in time, our 7 hours are spent in the house because we do not have the space to have them go to a different classroom. And so the Villages is also in the process of building a new administration/learning center. And so our biggest need right now is donations for that. We are getting ready to start a capital campaign for that, but we also take donations year-round for school supplies or books in Spanish and English or DVDs in Spanish and English. So, because we're trying to teach kids English with that program. And our program in Lawrence is always needing donations they're all boys. So just even clothes or games or school supplies and backpacks are always needed and welcome.
Perfect. Now, knowing that there are both monetary and material contributions that could be made or needed, if someone had a material type of contribution, as you said, clothing, books, things of that nature, where would they go, or who could they contact, or is there a website they could reach someone on to find out more information?
Absolutely. The Villages has a website, thevillagesinc.org. And on our website, there is a donation button for monetary funds, but there is also, we are part of Amazon Smile. And so if you go on to Amazon and do Smile, we have a list of things that are needed in the houses. And so you can order them and have them shipped directly to the Villages.
And as you had mentioned previously, a lot of the benefits of your organization stay here locally. Can you talk a little bit about some of what the contributions that your department or team makes, how it benefits the community, or finds a way to benefit those within the homes on the long term?
For the Villages, it is I'm going to start with our mission statement. Our mission statement is to ensure the safety and well-being of children entrusted to our care while empowering them to prepare for the future. And for the last 50 years, that's what we do. We take very much pride in our community that we take care of kids to the best of our ability. And that means that while they're here, they are treated with respect, dignity, and given as many tools as we possibly can to make them successful adults when they leave. That looks different for both programs. For the one in Lawrence and for the one here in Topeka. The one here in Topeka, the goal is to get kids out of here as quickly as possible. The goal in Lawrence is to keep kids as long as possible until they can, like I said, reintegrate or get into the community successfully and finish school.
Now, if either a member of Forge or a member of the community wishes to share more about your mission outside of your website, is your company also on any type of social media platforms? As you know, folks my age love to share and get out missions of local businesses in that way.
The only social media we are currently on is Facebook. We have a Facebook page. But everything else is, we have never had enough staff to dedicate to any of that. So we keep talking about it, but no one has time to do that. So
absolutely. And knowing as well that Forge members or community members may know of someone or a person or child that may benefit from the Villages, is there also a place, Judette, on your website where individuals can contact or reach someone that could be a reference or a reach out to someone who may be in need?
Absolutely. On our webpage, there is an info at thevillages.com that you can send an email and ask any question that you want, and will be responded to.
Awesome. Awesome. Additionally, are there any, as you talked about, there's going to be a new building that's going to be coming in soon with your administration. Are there any other future plans that you can share with us, or things that you see coming in the forthcoming future for the villages?
I really don't. Our administration building will be the first building that the Villages has built since the 1970s. So
Wow.
we're very excited that we're going to move forward on construction for a new building. And what that does is gets right now our houses in Topeka specifically for the unaccompanied children program. The kids do everything there. And when I say everything, in the house where they live, they do school, they do therapy, they meet with their case manager. They are in that house, besides the fact that they go outside for recreation, they're in that house, 20 hours a day. The administration/education learning center will provide them the opportunity to get out of the house, and it also moves all the clinicians and all the case managers out of the houses into a professional space to meet with kids instead of in an old bedroom that's been turned into an office.
Very cool. As I think of trying to maybe wrap things up in a way, again, our goal as Forge is not only to provide opportunities for growth and success of the individuals in our organization, but to see the Topeka community grow as well. Just have to ask from your vantage point, has it been exciting for you seeing the profound growth both professionally and just business wise locally here in the Topeka community of recent?
Absolutely. It's been so exciting to see people back downtown, people, at the Evergy Center having concerts, that there seems to be more businesses back in downtown for people to enjoy and people to get out. And it's very nice to see that people are starting, especially since the pandemic, that people are starting to feel comfortable again to support local theater, local concerts at the Stormont Vale Event Center, that people are ready to get out and support Topeka again.
And I can only imagine, Judette, that there are other local organizations that potentially the villages either have a connection or networking relationship or partnership with. Just talk about that, I guess, in how Topeka businesses can help other businesses move forward in that collaboration.
Oh, absolutely. We couldn't exist without the partners that we have at the villages. Grace Med and Stormont Vale do our medical for our children. In Lawrence, I'm going to forget the name of the person that does it in Lawrence. We have a pediatrician in Lawrence that does it. We have partners with McCrummen Law Firm out of Kansas City who does legal for our kids. We have partnerships with Adventure Dental and Vision for our kids. We have partnerships with Bartlett and West, with Westar Energy or Evergy. We have partnerships with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and most recently Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I'm gonna forget the name. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Capers came out for the Nancy Perry Day of Caring and did brush work for us to clear trails to our new building for the kids to walk on. So we have always had wonderful, wonderful partnerships with all sorts of agencies in Topeka.
And you definitely see that work with the Nancy Day of Caring through the United Way of Greater Topeka. A lot of Forge corporations Forge is involved with. We're heavily involved with the Nancy Perry Day of Caring as well. And
Wonderful.
Finally, just to kind of loop it all together again, if you're joining us late, I've got Judette Padilla here with me from the Villages as the executive director. So again, folks can visit thevillagesinc.org for more information. Is that correct?
Correct.
Awesome. In closing then, Judette, again, we certainly see the value and the contributions that the villages have made here these last 50 years. And we look forward to not only from myself, but also Forge members learning more about the villages in weeks to come and months to come, and wish you and your organization continued success in that.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Judette.